Good afternoon and welcome to the June 21st, 2021 Board of Works and Public Safety meeting. Let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Dave Duddy.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I give the invocation, I have a question to ask you. What do you call a cow with no legs?
Don't move.
Nobody? Ground beef. Let's pray. Father, we thank you today for the opportunity to meet another summer. We thank you for this Board of Public Works. You've given me freedom to live anywhere I'd like to live, and I choose to live here in Connersville with my friends. And I lift up some of those friends today, those that represent this board, those that represent the Sheriff's Department, the Police Department, the Fire Department, the EMTs, the Utilities Director, and all those others that are involved in keeping and servicing our community. Thank you for protecting their families, for giving them health. We thank you for helping them in the agenda that they meet today, that they may do so in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, sir. All right, if you would please turn your cell phone ringers off and we will begin with roll call.
Brian Dahl.
Present.
Becky Gibson.
Present.
David Nutty.
Present.
And Jim Barrett.
Okay, everybody has a meeting from the June 7th, or the minutes from the June 7th meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to that?
I move that we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay, we have the approval of contract with Klein Peter Consulting for the Phase 3 Okra grant applications. Does everyone have that? Any questions on that? If not, I'll take a motion to approve the contract for the Klein Peter Consulting for the Phase 3 Okra grant application.
Second.
Have a motion second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you very much. And approval of resolution 2021-10, transfer cable. Rosemary?
Resolution 2021-10 is a transfer within the cable TV, moving $200 from postage to subscription and dues.
Questions?
Motion approved. Second.
Have a motion second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you very much. And move on down to department matters, Brad.
Aye.
I wanted to ask for permission to, picture we're gonna put up here. So down at the transfer station, our Headworks project that I've been talking to you about needs to use, I'm gonna walk over here, show you. Our Headworks is gonna go right there if you give me permission. So we're gonna move this fence. This fence is gonna move up here, up sort of by the driveway. So I'm asking for permission to get that fence moved.
You have a cost associated with that?
I've got a couple of quotes, but I didn't bring those yet today. I just want to make sure that it's okay first.
We know the width, how deep are you going to do that?
So
Down
about
to-
where we're gonna leave 10 feet around the driveway there where it kind of, where the driveway kind of goes out.
But coming south, you're going to stop where the
We're leaving the
yard
fence.
waste is?
Yeah, for now. We'll leave that alone. I think that'll give us plenty of room to build that. We really don't have anywhere else to put it, as you can see. We have that side yard, but it's got future plans on down the road a little ways, so.
Even with both properties owned by the city of Connersville, there won't be any need to do a survey or show Any changes or anything?
I don't think so. We checked with the surveyor. It had been listed as county property, but that was a mistake. So they got all that fixed, and I don't really think so. You know, our properties are kind of confusing. Some of them are owned by the waterworks, and most utility property is just says City of Connersville.
The reason I ask is I know there's county and city property that has been around for a while and it's been moved around, and now when you go try to find any kind of information, it's too confusing for anybody to
The
even
surveyor
find it.
looked at it, and he was certain that it belongs in the city, so.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that.
Any other questions?
Motion to approve Brad's request.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. And John, you out there?
Okay, so this is the inventory I've been working on for a while now. And the city recently changed the way that we do inventory with everything 5,000 and above being tracked separately. And we have equipment that's already been inventoried for that. But at the same time, I wanted to go a step further and do our own inventory, and in the process also clear up a lot of old inventory. So there's a lot of stuff on this sheet that you have that reflects stuff that has previously been disposed of, but I did a complete audit back to 2000, maybe a little bit before, and just wanted to make sure that everything was being taken care of. I presented this to my board, they approved it, and then I'm bringing it to you for final approval for disposition of the equipment on the review list.
Can you tell me again what you mean by transferred? I know one is request to auction and then it says briefly.
Yeah, anything that's
transferred.
green on the sheet, I want to auction that if possible. Some of it's not really worth a lot, I want to try. The yellow things are things that were traded in previously or were transferred to city departments. For instance,
Okay.
the 20-foot trailer that we used to have transferred to the park, they're now using that for concessions.
Okay.
That's all those are.
Questions? Any other?
Make a motion to approve John's request.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate your work on that, though.
Thank you.
Might as well just stay up there because you're on first for the department reports.
For the month of May, we did 11 hours, 25 minutes of meeting production, 12 hours, 41 minutes of original production. Of course, that's one of our busier times of year as we finish up the school year doing a lot of concerts, parades this year, of course. We produced some baseball and softball, which was nice, and a lot of other end of school year programming. Did you have any questions about that? Okay,
Appreciate the report.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, John.
Chief Harden.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So everyone should have a copy of my report. Did 380 calls. If you look on the last page, I started adding this, and it's a historical average. And it goes back to 2015, so this is a 6-year historical average. So our May historical average is 320. So we were 60 runs above what our historical average has been. Now keep in mind in 2015, the operations were a lot different. We weren't doing transfers. So things have changed, but it still kind of, I think, is relevant that our run volumes are continuing to rise. So, we still have 2 full-time paramedic vacancies. I'm actually speaking with someone right now. I got a follow-up interview with him tomorrow, so I might have something for you the next time. Cross your fingers. Completed our PHTLS class, our pre-hospital trauma life support class. We completed that in May. That's a 2-day class. And
we are starting to do some preparations for the fair, hopefully that be back to normal this year, but we try to have some equipment upgrades. Actually, that starts tomorrow with our gator, making sure we have the supplies we need and a display and things like that. So it's already in the works. It's kind of early, but I'd rather kind of get a little bit of a head start on it so we're not waiting until the last minute. Does anybody have any questions over that, over anything? I didn't have a huge amount. Kind of thought that maybe when I don't have a huge amount of stuff, I would bring something to show you guys of what we're actually doing. And that's why I brought this today, so I'm not going to tear it apart, but in 2019 we did an active shooter scenario with all the agencies in Fayette County. Connersville Police, I believe, took point on that. And one thing it made me realize is that we're set up for 1 to 2 patients. That's what we are set up for. And if you have 20 people with life-threatening gunshot wounds or something along those lines, we were woefully ill-prepared for that. And it made me feel really bad that day, knowing that that's how unprepared we were for that type of a situation. So last year we had a little bit of money left over in medical supplies, so I purchased 3 of these. These are in what they call an MCI kit, mass casualty incident kit. Each one of these is set up for 8 patients. Now they're not all inclusive, they don't have IV stuff and that. These are stop the bleeding, get them breathing, and we're moving on, which is what you have to do. So this gets the ball rolling. It not only does it have soft stretchers, it has tourniquets, it has vacuum sealed gauze and pressure dressings, has airway, adjuncts in here. I mean, right down to this compartment right here has Sharpies and triage cards. So I just kind of wanted to show, I think when I did that, it was kind of a big expenditure, and I don't remember if it was this board or if it was the council asked why there'd been a huge jump in the expense for medical supplies for the month of December. This is one of the reasons. We have 3 of these, 8 patients each, so right now we have these available for 24 patients. I'd like to expand that and put on all the trucks, whether they're backup trucks or not, and my goal is that these sit on the trucks and they rot, because we don't ever want to use them. But if we don't have them, then I'm gonna feel worse. So I just kind of wanted to show you what we're doing, some of the things we're changing, some of the upgrades, and if anybody has any questions over these, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Is there a recommendation that you refresh the items in there? Or
They do have
you don't set it there and then 6 years later open it up?
No, they have expiration dates, so yearly they'll have to be opened up. Everything expires at a different rate. Normally, it's due to, the manufacturer will no longer guarantee that stuff is sterile on bandages and so forth. So normally they have a 4 to 5 year life on that kind of things. But yeah, I've got the expiration dates actually recorded, so I know when stuff's coming due, and we don't have to open them up and go piece by piece through it every time. So, but yeah, we will have to replace some stuff. But the kit itself, there's a lot of things like the soft stretchers, they don't expire. So the bags itself don't expire. So there will be some ongoing costs, but I think the ongoing cost is outweighed by the benefit of just having them. Hopefully never using them, just having them.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chief. Catherine?
Hi.
Hello.
Since it's been 6 months since we turned our goals in, I thought it might be a good time to do an update on those goals and kind of let you know where we are. David was asking me before the meeting, he had a specific question about Roberts Park and the column that was hit. Gosh, it's been a couple months ago, I think now. But yes, we have a contractor chosen. Insurance is doing its thing, and he's supposed to get started this week. Rain delayed him a little bit, but so hopefully that will be fixed in the next couple weeks. So outside of any other questions, I just thought I might give you a quick update on what we've been doing. We are making some very good progress on the bridge. We have that report back, getting some good footing on fundraising for that project. The disc golf course is done. The signs should be finished hopefully this week. start putting those on the post. The posts are already there. We did have a few things that we've added onto this list. One of those was putting in the new umbrellas. We do have 2 new umbrellas at the pool. I don't know if you've seen. We did add windscreen on the tennis courts. That was an add-on. For 2nd Street, we do have our final proposal back from REA. We should be getting imagery on that this week, so we can start fundraising for that grant opportunity that opens up in January. We did a lot of things down at Babe Ruth. We're pretty much done down there, except for we are going to take the rest of that fencing down by the old fast pitch field that looks so terrible. The extension on the trail is straightened out. Where it used to curve around and then the trees were cut down. That's been straightened. We have about half a load of millings to finish that up. So yeah, we've got a lot done. Movies are underway. And then I also wanted you to know what we're focusing on next, because that's always something that troubles me, is what are we going to focus on, because it seems like so many things come up during the day that we just run around fixing things and we don't really know where we're going. The Kittyland border is on the top of my list. I was looking at it yesterday. I think we might have to rip the whole thing out. I'm not sure what we're going to do. We will be taking down the playground at Park Road. The bridge is broken. We're not able to repair that the way it needs to be. It's 50+ years old, rotting. Park Board's already voted and approved on that as well.
And making sure people know they're talking about the walk bridge for the playground.
Right, yes, the playground there right off Park Road. That's going to happen probably next week. At the same time, we're going to take down everything but the swing set at Frazee Park. Same reasons. It's old, rotting, just a safety hazard. So that's kind of where we are, where we're going. We have had 2 of our programs, one being Toddler Time, is drawing twice as many kids as we did last year. We probably have 30 or 35 families that come every month to that program. And the same is going on at Summer Discovery, which has been a blessing and a curse a little bit. A good day for us last year was 35, 40 kids. That was a big day. Maybe 50 kids was like a really big day. We are averaging 85 to 100 kids a day. The first day we opened, we had 92 kids. Needless to say, we have had to react to that a little bit. We've hired 4 more counselors. I was talking with my managers this morning about some different ways that we may need to adjust to the number of kids that are coming every day, because it's a lot, and we want to make sure everybody's taken care of. And the other thing I just wanted to address any questions you might have on is the pool. I know there's been a lot of stuff on Facebook, a lot of grumbling about safety at the pool. I would like to commend everyone that works there. We are in a reactionary position to situations that arise at the pool. There was a woman who was intoxicated. Everyone responded as they should. You know, the EMT was called, police were called. We've had some other incidents that have required us to call the police. It's been done timely, just as it should be. It's unfortunate that there have been the incidents that there have been. I'm not sure what is causing it. We're not really running the pool any differently. But I think the managers are doing a terrific job responding to every situation as it arises. So I wanted to be open and see if you guys had any questions, if you'd seen anything, heard anything.
I know it was discussed briefly at a council meeting, but other than that, I don't know that much what's going on. But what I do understand is that there is timely activities. You know, there's someone who responds at the pool, and if needed, the officers arrive in a timely manner and is dealt with. I appreciate everybody involved.
They're doing a very good job. We will be adding windscreen, something we've talked about for a few years, to the chain link fence. Just that will prevent people passing things in and out of the fence. It'll prevent people from parking and just looking into the pool. So that's going to be coming. And I've also been talking to the police chief about additional patrols. So we are aware of it, but unfortunately it's not a preventative measure. We just are in a position to react to every situation, and I've been very impressed with how quickly and accurately everyone's been responding. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Catherine.
Thank you.
Chief Jones.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Scott.
Nope, everyone should have a copy of my report. We'll start with the overtime. Overtime was about average. Had a few guys, a few sick days. Causes a little bit of overtime when you're in vacation season, so. Any questions on the overtime for the month of May? After that, you'll see the little summary of the run report for May. We had 156 runs total. And then kind of a summary of the categories of different runs that we had. Any questions on that section? Training. There's a list of the training classes that the guys did for the month of May. Looks like we had a total of 56.5 hours of training. And then finally on the last page, you'll see the inspections that we got done last month. I'm in the process of getting the tablets for the guys at the 3 stations for the other inspectors. Got the hotspots ordered, got those, so they got internet connectivity when they get out, so we should be able to finally start getting out and doing what we've been waiting to get done. So that's all I have. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Brad? Mike, go first.
Mike?
Hello.
Hi.
May report, not a lot went on in May, but June's been a ball of fire. But revenue disbursements was very good for the month of May. We're in black in all 3 categories, which is nice. Overtime, only $22,681 in overtime, which is the least we've had this month. Probably different in June, but May so far was pretty good. Attaches the reports for the sewer and water and some of the work that the crews did in the month. Miscellaneous, I have started spraying for mosquitoes. I only spray on city properties, and I've done it 3 times so far. Been a little slow at that too, so just let people know. I'm usually out after 9 o'clock, city properties. Try to get to the park after it closes, so we're not spraying people, but, smallies, soccer fields, trails behind the park, horse barns, those type of areas. Other than that,
And you do that because you have the certification to do so, right?
yes, yeah. In the city, we have 2 machines, a bigger machine and a smaller one that could actually go on like a golf cart and go down trails if we needed to. Any questions on the mosquito spraying?
On the spraying, I have a question.
Yes.
Last year, we had done some stuff with some weed control in some of the streets, because I've seen a lot of weeds growing up in the streets, just from like a parked car being next to it. Any chance that we could probably start spraying for some weeds in city-owned sidewalks and streets?
I'm sure we could, I think they're starting that program at the street department. I've seen people walk around with those sprayers, walking downtown, Park Road, so I think that's something that I'm sure we could work on. The only other thing is, I don't know if anybody knows, but we have a leaky hydrant on 3rd Street. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. But we are working on that actually tomorrow. We'll be digging. We're gonna put 2 more valves in, see if we can get this thing stopped. So Tuesday and Wednesday we'll be up on Third Street working. Just let people know traffic might be a little slow in that area at that time.
You also had one over in Eastern.
And we have a leak on Eastern that will be fixed when this hydrant gets stopped. Any questions?
Thank you.
I'm just gonna tell you, we've been, part of the reason for the weeds is our dedicated weed sprayer person has been off quite a bit, so we got a little bit behind with that. But I've seen those two, and we were having conversations about those this morning. So hopefully over the next week or so, you'll see some improvement in that.
Appreciate it.
I want to remind everybody, we were open the whole month of May at the compost site. Now we're back to regular hours, so keep in mind Wednesday all day and Saturday mornings is when we're open for you to come get mulch or drop off limbs. If we have a storm or something or another, we'll open more hours if need be.
So only those 2 days? Gates are always,
We keep them closed the rest of the time. And our gate has been broken down there, so we just have barricades. But I'm working on getting a new gate put up. I wanted to tell you about the sidewalk project and where we are on that. It's about 4 weeks probably behind schedule. They had problems with their concrete contractor, and now they seem to be moving along pretty good. We were talking about this earlier. We hope that they have a plan in place to now where they're going to be more, until we get the 400 block finished, it's going to be a little touch and go, but once we start in the 500 block, I think that the concrete will move much closer to the tearing out. I talked to them this morning about timelines, and there's no guarantees on any of this, but maybe in about, maybe a week from Friday, the 300 block should be able to be driven on. Maybe. Is that what I told you earlier?
We have to wait on the brake test for the, even though it looks like the concrete's poured on the drive, and it looks cured, and you can walk on it, you can't drive on it until it passes the state brake test. So once it passes that brake test, which means it's the proper PSI strength, then they can open it up
So they gotta wait 7 days after it's poured.
on the drives.
And
What
until
drive
they,
is
It'd be the drives going to like the gas speedway, Clark's, the jail.
oh, so all the drives?
Yeah, any drive.
Okay.
yeah.
I thought you said
The
the
alleys.
drive, so I
The
thought.
alley, sorry, where they drive is what I meant, the
Okay.
portion where they drive.
So until the 300 block opens, the 500 block will not be able to close. So that, they're trying to move as quick as they can because they want to get on up the street here. I asked them to put a guess on the 400 block. See, Brian's here. I'd say about, when I say 3 weeks, we kept saying 3 weeks a lot, but I would say about 3 weeks from today. If everything goes right, that block will be able to be driven on.
Yeah, it was just more than contractor issues as well. These guys are moving on good, but with the amount of rain we had, we couldn't get compaction. There's too much moisture, they couldn't get compaction, so they had to let it dry out, get new stone in. They had to dig some stone out, put new stone in, try to get compaction rates, because you have to have a certain compaction rate or they won't let you pour concrete on it. Over the driveway, sidewalks don't have one, but the drives do.
But
So there's a lot of
in case
factors.
In case I hadn't already told you, they lost their first contractor. They had to procure another contractor, get them in here and get them started. Well, they've brought in a lot of people. There's a lot of people down there working now for them.
Yes.
So if the weather holds out, things should get much quicker, hopefully.
Where does that put us at the end of the project, or before we're looking
They're
at?
4 weeks behind. They gotta gain steam and try to catch that up.
Yeah, were they gonna be able to finish it this year?
I think within the year, they'll be able to,
I
but
think September, end of September was the,
That's what I thought, in September, now it's end of October, so they're,
unless they really fly, they're gonna be difficult to meet their completion date. But they haven't asked for any extensions or anything yet.
I'm
Maybe
glad you
they'll
mentioned, I'm glad you mentioned Brian's because he and I talked, then I talked to you, then I talked to him again, giving him the information that you gave me.
Yeah.
I appreciate his presence here and you stay on top of it
And
for him. Because there's other businesses going, I'm sure they're looking at the blocks that are torn up right now and how long they are. And all the businesses north are all just sweating.
I don't blame them.
All
I
right.
would be too. I want to stress that we told the inspectors on this project, they are supposed to be communicating with these people. The owners, anybody interested that lives down through there. And I don't think that was done as well as we expected it to be. But I think that we've impressed on them that it needs to be done better.
Is that the engineering firm that's supposed to be doing it? Okay.
Yeah. We have two guys this year, it's a little bit different, so there's a little overlap between one guy thinking that somebody else did or didn't do something, so we've been working our way through that. The last thing I wanted to tell you about is I've been working quite a bit on trying to find out new technologies and things of how to keep our roads a little nicer. I got an opportunity, I had to go to a utility conference in Jasper last week, and I got a chance to meet the street department superintendent there. They're very innovative with their road technologies that they use, and I got to see some of the products that salesmen are always trying to sell us on the road and see how they did and what they look like when they're a few years old. So I'm finding that the places with really good streets spend about 25% of their paving budget on preservation. They seal the streets, they use a product called Rejuvtech that penetrates the road and makes it softer, where it doesn't crack as bad. And I think we've found a couple of products that will work for us. I don't know that we'll be able to use it this next year in our paving because we're already kind of maxed out, but in the future, I think you'll see us use more of our money to preserve what we have.
So I know last year you had some issues with painting also and got a new paint. And I don't know if the city did it or county did it, who did Waterloo Road, but
Ron and I have been
with-
talking about the mayor
within
and
a
I-
day it's faded again.
The NDOT is now using thermal that you spray on. It's like a bead, it comes in a bead, and we're trying to set up a time when we can go watch them paint and see what it is they use. And we need to do something different. I think that street paint's okay for like yellow lines and stuff, but the school markings and railroad crossings need to be something better than we're doing now. I think we'll get there eventually. We're just figuring out what the best thing is to use before we invest in a machine or whatever to apply it.
Speaking of railroad crossing, any plans for north end of town?
Yeah, we have somebody selected. We've slowed down just for a minute because there's a grant opportunity
Okay.
where we might be able to do both crossings at the same time. We've got a price, and I basically gave Newberry the nod last year that we was gonna have them do it, but we're waiting on Joe Lisa for a minute to see if she can get us some grant money that'll help
Great.
with it.
Pete brought us some grant opportunity, so we'll look at that.
Hey Brad, did you say the state was gonna be doing 30th Street when they come down one?
Yep.
Is that still this year? When is that?
They're a little behind. They should have been in here working on the ramps already, but they've slowed down a little bit. I thought they would actually be paving about right now
That's what I
on
was
3rd Street. 44 gets it first, and then they go, but then they start at Eastern and head up north.
They were doing some saw cutting today, on 3rd Street with the ramps. So they must be getting close.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Chief Bellows, you wanna bring Nick in with you?
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks.
All right, everybody's got a copy. Overtime is pretty much average, but be ready for the next couple months. We've got a lot of guys on vacation the next couple months, so. Any questions on the overtime?
These sheets, can you start printing them on legal size so the whole report's on them?
So the whole report?
Yeah.
Oh, she cut off
Yeah, this,
December's?
yeah, and then there's, I'm sure, a total out there somewhere, but
Okay,
both sides. It stops at October.
I got you, okay.
Thank you.
Okay, for, on the backside of our, in May, all our law
reports are on there. The thing about our, any questions on the totals of our incident reports, first off, and I'll go into our drug-related. Okay, so, on our possession of syringes or paraphernalia, that is a total of 7. Drug-related arrest and calls combined is 28. On our drug detective totals, I had him give me his monthly, and he took in 34 grams of meth, 7 grams of fentanyl, 42 pills. Him himself has paraphernalia at 6. He wrote 1 search warrant and made 3 arrests. So that's our monthly totals as far as incidents go in the police department. Our training hours for last month in May was 126 hours of training, and that includes away schools, specialty schools, and in-house training. Any questions on any of those? Okay, so from here on out, we have our ordinance enforcer here, Nick Brown, and that's why I left it at 0, because he has all on my report, it's 0, but it's not. He's been doing a fantastic job. He should have the totals on all his new properties, where he's at on the properties. So he's keeping track. He's very efficient. He does sections of the city at a time instead of jumping around, so he stays on top of what issues that area of the city has. If you want to come up with yours.
Good afternoon.
Like I say, I'm Nick Brown, city ordinance right now, so I think you have the same paperwork I see. These are just new properties that I've taken over, starting over with, basically. So there's a lot of other properties took over for a guy, his position, so might be a little bit of weedy areas with some of them, but we'll get there.
On these resolved, was that, we resolved them or the owner?
The owner resolved.
That's good. They took it on their own, to go ahead and fix that.
Yeah.
Well, part of what we've been impressing on, and Nick's been doing a fantastic job, is follow-up. That's where we really was lacking, was in our follow-up. We're just trying to stay ahead, getting as many letters as possible, but we weren't really getting the results. So Nick's job is, he sends a letter or gives it to him personally, which is what we prefer, and then he follows up on it. So he's right back, saying, hey, where are you at with it and everything. So he's working with them, but that gets the results.
It's the follow-up gets results. That's what makes them comply. So the more we follow up on issues, the better compliance that we have. So
Nick,
he's doing a great job with that. So.
Are you running into like disabled people, you know, on this list? Are they elderly or something where maybe they don't have the resources? I'm not saying about not just having a mower and not wanting to work in.
Not yet. Our biggest issue is property owners that live out of state.
Yeah.
That's, other than that, no, nobody else.
Anything else you guys would like to see as far as this report goes? If there is, then just bring it up as we continue and we'll add it.
Okay. Are you available after the meetings, so I can share with you a few things?
Yes, sir.
Great. Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there any old business from anybody? Miscellaneous? Claims.
City claims was $384,090.11. Payroll, $507,621.11. $631.48. Utilities, $396,091.52.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. Going down to the public. Anybody from the public got anything to say? Right there, Clint. Brian, you got anything? Okay, thank you, sir. All right, if not, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Pat, thank you. Have a good day.